They taught you how to fit in from the moment you could speak. You were handed scripts: behave like this, talk like that, believe what everyone else believes. You were told that obedience was goodness, that silence was maturity, and that belonging was everything. And so you did what most do: you adapted. But here's the truth: living the way everyone else lives doesn't take courage, it takes compliance. The world rewards those who conform, it applauds the ones who never rock the boat. But what it fears are the ones who wake up, the ones who begin to ask, what if all of this isn't for me? And that's when everything changes. Leaving the herd, walking away from the comfort of the crowd, isn't an act of arrogance. It's not about rebellion. It's the quiet realization that you can no longer betray your soul just to be accepted. At first, it feels like exile. You'll feel alone. You'll feel the stares, the judgment, the confusion of those who once called you friend. But understand this: that loneliness isn't a curse. It's a passage. The herd doesn't fear danger, it fears clarity. When you stop repeating their slogans, when you stop reacting to their pressures, when you stop apologizing for who you really are, you become a mirror. And in your reflection, they see everything they were too afraid to become. That's when the attacks come, not because you're wrong, but because you're free. The most dangerous person in any room isn't the loudest, it's the one who no longer needs to be understood. You see, most people are trapped not by chains, but by invisible guilt. Guilt for thinking differently, guilt for stepping off the path, guilt for daring to ask, is this really me? But guilt is not always a sign of doing wrong. Sometimes it's a sign that you're finally stepping out of your cage. They will call you names. They will try to pull you back. They will try to convince you that the cage is a blessing, that the bars are there to protect you. Don't listen. This is your story. You are the author. And if you choose to walk away from the flock, the world will tremble, not because you're leaving, but because they realize that they're still here. Understand this: the cage is just an illusion. There are no bars to hold you. Your wings were just tucked away, hidden under layers of societal expectations, of promises made to others and dreams deferred. But here's the truth: you have wings. And if you dare to spread them, the wind beneath them will be the whispers of freedom. You'll feel the rush of wind against your skin, the sun on your face, the rain on your head. And in that feeling of being alive, you'll know you're truly flying. Listen closely. Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of millions of cages being rattled. That's the sound of others asking, can I fly too? Because when you dare to step into the sunlight, you illuminate their darkness. And in your light, they see a possibility that they never dared to dream. So spread your wings, fly your own flight. Let your spirit soar to heights it was meant to reach. The world may seem vast and scary, but you are more powerful than any fear. You are more creative than any doubt. And you are more loved than you can ever imagine. This is your story. Make it beautiful, make it bold, make it your own. And in doing so, you'll inspire others to do the same. So go on, fly. The world is waiting to be painted with the colors of your dreams. I've been your guide. Until next time, may your colors be bold and your wings unfurled. Thank you. And when you stop explaining yourself to others, when you stop reacting to their expectations, when you stop needing applause to feel alive, then you begin to taste something rare, real freedom. Not the kind that's sold to you, not the kind that's given by permission, but the kind that grows when you stop asking for validation. This is the path not for someone who dominates others, but someone who has mastered themselves. Not someone who conquers the world, but someone who has already transcended it. You see, we're all born with an innate sense of what is right and true for us. But somewhere along the way, many of us abandon this inner compass in exchange for borrowed values, inherited beliefs, and the comforting illusions of a life well led. We play our roles, say our prayers, follow the rituals, all in an effort to be seen, to be heard, to be accepted. But what if I told you there's another way? A way that doesn't require you to confront the world because you've already transcended it? A way that allows you to shed the weight of borrowed beliefs and inherited fears? It starts with understanding that the need to dominate others often stems from a deep-seated fear of being alone, a fear that can be traced back to our childhood experiences, our upbringing, our education. We learn to measure our worth by the standards of others, to believe that our value depends on our ability to conform. And so we spend our lives seeking approval, chasing external validation, trying to fill the void within us with the fleeting dopamine of likes and comments, shares and subscriptions. But what if I told you there's a different path? A path that leads to true freedom, to a life lived on your own terms? It begins with the courage to walk alone, to embrace the discomfort of solitude, and in that aloneness, discover the richness of authenticity. To stop reacting to the world and start living by your own design. To stop seeking approval and start giving it. To stop competing and start creating. To stop conforming and start being yourself. It's a path that few will walk because it requires a level of self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love that most people never achieve. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't walk that path. In fact, it should be the very thing that compels you to do so. Like the lone wolf that refuses to join the pack, you must be willing to walk alone. But walk in truth. For in doing so, you'll discover that the herd offers safety, but at the cost of your soul. So walk alone if you must, but walk in truth. For that is where you'll find the courage to finally live.